sound the gonger, that's how it was when the pork chops and sauerkraut were served, or whatever they were serving. There was Conrad Sipe right there. That portrait was painted when he was 64 years old, the year before he passed away. He passed away, like his son, complications of diabetes. On the left is his son, Conrad Jr. He's the one who sent the obelisks, etc. back from Egypt. Never came back himself. He died when he was 25 years old. Now here's a lady we can thank for all of us being here right now. This is Alma Peterson, Alma Sipe Peterson. She was the granddaughter, Alma Schmidt Peterson. Forgot my names there. She was the granddaughter of Conrad Sipe, and she was married to William Peterson Sr. His family was from the island of Frisia, in which she's wearing, this is a promotional poster for their business, Peterson Brick Oven Works. They made brick liners and baking ovens. Still in business in Chicago. The Frisian gown and the jewelry and the headpiece is on display at the Metropolitan Museum in New York right now. He was posed for this. As you can tell, she was a very good-looking lady, very tall woman, very independent woman. In today's vernacular, she'd probably be called a woman's liver, but in a very good way. She financially sponsored a camp down here at the west end of the lake called Holiday House. It was for troubled kids, mainly girls out of Chicago. She supported it. She found out they were exercising a little bit of discrimination. She went down there and threatened to close the place up now, if she ever heard of that again. Her son, Bill, who we had the pleasure of meeting once, said you didn't want to sit next to Mom at supper, because sure and all get out, you'd get into an argument. She was a woman ahead of her time, as far as ideas goes, but it was her idea to give this house to the state. She told her son, she looked across the lake here, she saw the Schlitz mansion being demolished and all subdivided. She says, I don't want that to happen to our family's piece of property. I don't want to come back from the dead and see a bunch of houses here. Please give it to the state, which he did at the request of the family. And it's written right in the deed. If the state of Wisconsin decides they don't want to do this anymore, the house has to be given back to the family. It can never be sold, can never be developed. No developments are ever permitted on this piece of property.
How many pieces of or acre?
Right now we have, that belongs to the state, 7.5 acres. At the highlight of its reign, the estate was a little over 100 acres. They had their own farm over here. They raised beef, mainly for self-sustenance. Beef, they raised goats, Germans like goat meat, I guess. They had chickens, they had an orchard, they had a vegetable garden, they had an ice house out back, plenty of ice in the winter here, and that's where they would store things and ship it to Chicago throughout the year when they could. Very self-sufficient farm.
When did she pass?
This lady passed in 1972. She was the third matriarch of the house. This is her husband, William Peterson Sr. He was a doctor. He was head of pathology at the University of Chicago, University of Illinois, Chicago campus. His specialty in the field of medicine was studying the effect that the weather has on the human body. That was his specialty. And going up the line here, the third picture is her father, Otto Schmidt. He's the guy that helped start up the Lake Geneva Yacht Club. His family donated the property that the Lake Geneva Yacht Club now sits on. They got a beautiful building down here, down the shoreline this way. Very beautiful. They donated that. So we have original owner, son-in-law, granddaughter. The last lady going up on the left side, we do not know who she is. We're researching her right now. We're told that she is kind of a short-term relation of this gal right here. That's one of the great nieces from Conrad Sipe's first wife. Kind of a short-term relation of this lady. They're all painted the same time. Must have had a 2 for Tuesday or something here when they painting portraits. But that's the main members of the family. I'll show you a couple more when we get upstairs. No questions? No. No? Not like, where's my voice going? Okay. And I gotta do another tour this afternoon. That's gonna be a day at the beach. So what do you folks stay up here all summer then?
We come every weekend.
Yeah. The weekends,
Yeah.
not in the winter though?
No, we're coming in the winter. We come all year. We leave on Friday.
I'm sure you've heard the history of that place. Who's Jack Nichols?
Yeah.
He helped design that. Beautiful place.
Yeah.
Okay, you're at the platform here, the landing between the first and second floor. There are 6 bedrooms on this floor, 7 bedrooms on the 3rd floor. The 7th bedroom being at the far end of the hall was for the tutor. That's the only bathroom that was in the house when it was built. There are a total of 6 bathrooms now. They were brought in throughout the years. They didn't have any plumbing. They couldn't have flush toilets. They couldn't have wash basins. So until 1920, they used bedpans, chamber pots as they call them. I suppose the guys could go outside when nobody was looking, but that was the only way that they could go to the bathroom. Yeah, that's got to be from the 1930s. With the gas light. Yeah. Oh, with the gas, I thought you were pointing an extinguisher. No, you know, they had a system of, there's the one down at the other end too. If, let's say you're up here and you woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, you had a taste for pizza, whatever. There was a little megaphone that stuck off from that. You could speak into that. It went right down into the butler's pantry. So that's, and they got some of them hidden in the closets up here. But anyway, that was Grandma's bathroom. The only way that, the other thing she could use it for was actually take a bath. The maids would come up the back staircase here with heated buckets of water from outside, fill up the bathtub. Anybody else wanted to take a bath, they had to go down to the lake with a bar of soap. You do that today, it can cost you a couple $100. We have the property right, you know how strict the rules are right there in this lake, and that's good. You don't even get caught spitting in this lake. You won't get a fine. So, the people from Illinois, well, you're from Illinois too. Your governor has a piece of property on this lake, Governor Pritzker, and we're not allowed to tell you where it's at. We asked them, please don't tell them where I live. I don't know why. I figured, what are you hiding, pal? But, did you ever watch the Meekum auto auctions on television? Well, Mr. Meekum has a place, and I will respect his locality. He's got a beautiful row of buildings there with millions of dollars worth of automobiles. We were asked not to point that place out either. Those are, I do a boat tour out here every so often, and those are the only 2 places we are told you do not point out those houses at the owner's request. I can see why with Pritzker, I shouldn't say that. But Mr. Meekum, he's got millions of dollars worth of automobiles stashed over there. He's between here and the Abbey on this way. In fact, one day the governor was out in the lake in his boat. He was going like a bat out of Hades. They have a speed limit on this lake early in the morning. So, I thought we had another guest. I forgot.
Nope, I'm just staying down here.
And we're fall under the jurisdiction of Lynn, L-I-N-N Township. And the Lynn Township boat was out there, pulled him over, and one of his assistants, one of his assistants said, you know who this man is? Cop says, no, I have no idea who he is. He was speeding, we're gonna give him a ticket. So the guy said, yeah, okay, go ahead. And the cop said later, I knew exactly who he was. That's why he got his ticket. But he's got several developments going on around here. He's got money. And what hotel chain did his family come from?
Hyatt.
Hyatt? Is that what the Hyatt Hotel? I don't know. I shouldn't comment him because I'm originally from Illinois. Grew up in the Antioch area, but
Darn.
the house is falling. Excuse me. I do have to check that out. Excuse me. I gotta see what's going on down there. One of the ghosts woke up. Yeah. People down there, so must have been one of them. The lady who cleans our house here is a good gal, really a great lady. She was cleaning here one day. All of a sudden she says, I'm not going upstairs anymore. Why? She was about halfway down these steps and she said she looked over her shoulder and somebody was standing on the landing about yay far off the ground. So she refused to come up here anymore. Is she back?
I don't know. I've heard of them, but I've never felt or seen any of them. I've been here for years now.
We had a guest here one time who got to the bottom of the steps and would not come up any further. Because she felt something. There was a spirit up there. After she spent the night at Popeye's popping down